Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Thanks for checking out the channel. Thanks for checking in. This episode is going to be a little bit different. As you can see, the elephant in the room is a 1845B case diesel skid steer from the early 80s. I bought it not running. Gentleman I bought it from is right out the road here. Got it for a good price. He put it on a trailer for me. Left me borrow the trailer for a couple weeks till I got it running to get it off the trailer. Long story short, there was a fuel delivery problem along with a bad starter, and it was just sitting for a while. Still a lot of things to work out on it, but it is functional, fires up every time. Came with a set of forks, and it came with this smooth bottom bucket, or just a regular cutting edge bucket, or material handling bucket, I guess is what a lot of people call it. I wanted to put a tooth bar on it. I have an international tractor with a bucket like this. This is a 6-foot bucket, but I wanted to go something, for this I wanted something a little bit more aggressive. So I decided to put a tooth bar on it. We're doing that now. You get online and look at tooth bars or bolt-on tooth bars. You know, they range from, the cheaper ones I found initially were $300 all the way up to like $700-800. It is the day after Black Friday. I got online. On Thursday and found that Vevor was having a sale on their cutting edges. So it's a 72-inch cutting edge. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 teeth. Okay. You can either put these cutting edges on with set screws, these Allen screws right here, or you can bolt them on. Since I have a magnetic base drill, we're going to knock 10 holes in there. They're 5/8 inch bolts, so we're going to knock 11/16 holes in there. So it's going to take you along for that journey. It is unbelievable to me that that cutting edge shipped to my door. I mean, it's got some weight to it. The box is sitting here. I don't even know what it weighed, but it was does not have the weight. It does not have the weight on it, but I would guess that probably weighed 70 to 80 pounds, this cutting edge. $155. Whether it lasts, I don't know, but for what I do, a little bit of digging that I want to do, you know, do I need a tooth bar? Probably not. This thing's basically a big toy for me. I don't really need it. Probably use it as a little forklift more than anything, but I enjoy working on it. So what we're going to do is we'll go through the process here and get started, all right? All right, cold start, baby. Gonna get a little smoky in here. Just gonna get this thing up to workable, like workbench height, so I'm not bent over. Safety briefing, do not crawl under this thing, man. I would much rather take my chances falling off the top. Chow! All right, so here's the plan. Come with me. Here's an up-close look at this Vevor tooth bar. These are the Allen set bolts. Okay. Or you can use these holes to knock it out knock them out and bolt it on. I will say these clamps, I sell these at work. I bought a couple of them. They are amazing. They are P-I-H-E-R, Pierre, and they are made in Spain. If you guys need bar clamps, these are the ones to buy. They are slightly more expensive than a Bessie clamp, but ooh-wee, they're good. All right, so the only thing I had to modify was the length, and I only took about maybe 3/8 inch off each end. All right, so this could fit a little bit better, and I could probably go in here and gouge that off so it sat back a little bit further, but I don't think it matters. It's going to be bolted on. If this slides all the way back too, if I have this bending, I'm going to put all that stress of that cutting edge on there, and I don't think it matters how I do it. So I'm going to let that gap there. I'm not going to worry about trimming these, and I'm going to knock these holes in. So first things first, we got to mark our holes. You can either use a center punch for these guys, or I like to use a scribe, carbide tip scribe. You can go right down the line here and trace them. Some guys will use spray paint or whatnot. I prefer this method. A friend of mine turned me on to these scribes, and it's been history ever since. This one is stuck, and what I mean is that this does not retract. The good ones, and I have a brand new one, it's like a pen, it's retractable. That way if you put it in your coat pocket or your jacket pocket, you don't stab yourself in the chest. This one stays in the toolbox. So trying to keep them up and down like that. I can't see me, probably off camera maybe, down here. Clamp's kind of in my way. I don't want to move it now. Damn, it's cold in here. It is. It was 36 in here. Trying to film this, I turned off my little torpedo here. But it heats up quick. It's a little garage. A little bit of dirt in there. All right, we got her all marked. Now what we're gonna do is take these clamps off and get this out of the way so we can line up our drill. And hopefully don't fall on my damn foot here. Loud noises. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Probably should have cleaned this a little bit better before I started, because now dirt is getting in my marks. Let's show you guys. There's a good one. You can see you got a pretty... Hold that focus. 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 All right, so now on to setting up the mag drill. We rep, my company, or my uncle's company I work for, reps a company called Steel Max. Was able to find this drill online. Looks just like a Steel Max, and it's called a Promotech. I think it's a European company, maybe. I'm not sure. It's Promotech.eu, so whatever that's for. So if you guys aren't familiar with these annular cutters, it's basically a glorified hole saw. Kind of looks like an end mill bit. It's got two flat sides on the shank here, okay, and a centering pin so you can find center, and it just gets held in by two Allen screws up here. And get her set up. Having the right tools is like, I don't know, it's the ticket, man. If you don't have the right tools for a job, it makes things so much more difficult. But I will say, and I'm trying to teach my kids this too, is if you don't have the right tool for the job, figure it out. Think outside the box. You know? A lot of people, that's all they know, man, is there's one way to do it. And, you know, the old expression is there's more than one way to skin a cat. Probably get locked up for skinning the cat right now, but, or saying you're gonna, oh, we're not skinning any cats. Probably get locked up for, just saying skin a cat. So, the idea here, I think I'm gonna start at one end. I'm gonna start at one end. Maybe as I put one or two in, put that cutting edge back up here, make sure the bolts are dropping in, and then check my holes out through the back on the other end. Just to make sure everything's lining up yet, because I don't want to knock holes in this thing if I don't have to. The other thing is we're drilling through a hardened cutting edge. I hope it's not too hard. My hope is, actually I might need to go get a, they make these in high speed tool steel, and they make them carbide tipped. For what we're doing, we're going to try high speed tool steel, but it might not last on the hardened cutting edge. So got these tightened down. We'll get this lined up and we'll start cutting. All right, we'll get this bad boy sitting here. Get some electricity. You guys have these retractable reels, and I had a three prong at the end here, or three socket outlet. It turned to crap real quick, and then my cords kept falling out. So I went to Amazon, or went to Lowe's, and bought that box and put a 20 amp. I think it's a 20 amp outlet in there, and this is sweet, man. It's nice and tight. Don't lose my cords. I still have my retractable reel from Tractor Supply up there. All right, are we in frame here? We are. Let me zoom this in a little bit. So, the next step to get it lined up There's 2 buttons for this peg. Now remember, these are 5/8 inch bolts. I'm going with 11/16 inch holes. So I do have a little bit of play, but I still want to get this pretty damn close to where we need it. Okay? So, turn your magnet on. She is locked down. Okay? Locked and loaded. I'm going to come front just a smidge. And I still don't think. You can turn it on and you can just do a little skim coat and see if it lines up. So that's what we're going to do. Pretty damn close. I think it needs to go a smidge that way. So I'm going to run her down. I'm going to turn it off. And we're just going to bump it a little bit that way. All right, here we go. We're going to use some fluid. We keep that bit cool. Safety. Put some little gloves on. These are thin, like cut resistant gloves. They've seen better days. That's the shavings you get. Okay. Throw them in the scrap bucket. And then the plug. There's a little plug you get. Pretty slick, huh? That's that. So, turn off your magnet. I'm going to clean the bottom of here. Make sure your bottom's clean so you get a good grip. And then you got your first hole. Oh crap. Oh no! What happened? Shooting myself. You got your first hole. There's our second one. Okay? Maybe it goes this way. Which way was that? That worked out pretty slick. There we go. Well, other way. Had to have been the other way, right? No? Yeah. What's happening right now? Technical difficulties in the garage. Testicle difficulties in the garage. All right. We'll bump that up. There we go. That's it. Just got to tighten her down. Got to tighten her down a little bit. Okay. We're back in business. A little low. All right. On to the next one. cut her pretty smooth. Before we do that, let's make sure I do get the right bolt. All right. Be in business, we get the right hole size, a little bit of slop. Hopefully everything lines up. It's about 1 inch thick material. A little hard to see, given the eyes aren't as good as they were. I'm 45 years old. Anybody else's eyes gone? All right, let's log her down to a skim, pull it off. Make sure that looks all right. We are on the money. So, a little bit of cutting fluid again. I think we're going to stop halfway through this one and add more cutting fluid. That's just going to help keep that bit a little bit cooler for us. Here we go. All right, well, we got her drilled, boys and girls, whoever's out there. There's actually, I'm going to show you here, turn this around. They actually put 2 holes in there on the end and then space them every other, or every one. I'm doing that end, I'm skipping that hole. I don't see a point. Maybe if I was digging all the time, but I'm just gonna keep that and then there and there, and I think we'll be all right. So instead of 10, we drilled 8. We got 8 holes knocked in here. And I am happy to say that the high-speed bit worked great. Wasn't an issue at all. So I don't know how hard this really is. Obviously, it can't be mild steel. Case would never build a bucket out of and put a cutting edge that's mild steel, but it is definitely not hard because a high-speed tool steel bit with a little bit of cutting fluid worked great. So let me get you set up and we'll try to throw her on here. All right, fingers crossed. I'm gonna brush all that off, get that all knocked back. Try not to break my back. It's already bad. Oh shit. Yeah, definitely got some weight to it. Get one lined up. One in there. Alright, they're lining up. When you're 5'7", 150 pounds like myself, you learn to have a friend, and the friend is called leverage. You learn that at an early age. Ideally, I'd like to come up from the bottom. There we go. I'd like to come up from the bottom. That way, if we ever have to take these nuts off or take this off, which we will, because my idea is to use this for dirt, but be able to unbolt it and use it for snow, grading, that type of thing. So it's working. It's working. Got 4 in. Here they look a little, that one looks off. That one is not off. So that bad boy in the middle there, is a little off. Why did I do that? Here's another fun game. What size bolt? It's a 5/8 inch bolt, so what size head does that make it? I don't know. I'm a welder. I grab the wrong wrench every time. They're 15/16. Actually, that might go once I tighten the other ones down. So, let me get my impact and 15/16 socket, which 7/8, no, 15/16, 15/16. All right, what's it going to be, Miller or DeWalt? Yeah, I'm neither. She has a ways to go yet, but let's see. Damn it. Not gonna make it, boys. So, let's show you how close we are. It's not bad. 7 for 8. Should have been 8 for 8. No one's perfect. Mr. Pretty Good. So instead of hogging out that, we're going to take the top edge off of there. Okie dokie. This is obviously a Milwaukee carbide or a Milwaukee electric die grinder. Carbide tip burr. This one's smoked. This is our nemesis right now. We got to open that up a little bit. I like these in variable speed and my Metabo ones in my weld trailer, but we'll give this one a go. See if we can keep her from chattering too much. Success is the only option. Right? Success is the only option. All right, let's get these things snugged up. I think these bolts might be a little too short. Nope. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hit that one? 6. There we go. All right. Install is almost complete. What we do need to do is decide whether this one's stripped out from factory. Do I run these in? I guess I run them in. So although are they going to serve? They're not going to serve anything, so they're coming out. Change of plans. They're all coming out. That one said, no, I want to stay. Okay. Not enough ooga dooga on that one. Hopefully she's not stripped. I don't think I moved that one. Let's go with the old adapter to the impact. We'll put the impact on it. See what she says about that. There she came. There she came. Now I did see that one loosen up. That was the problem. think I'm running out of memory on this phone, so. All right, boob tube. Boob tube. Oh. There she is. The Vevor 72-inch cutting, well, tooth bar. I want to say cutting edge. Tooth bar. On an 1845B. So let's get her fired up. A digging we will go, a digging we will go, high on the stereo, a digging we will go. Oh! Metal shavings, metal shavings. We want to get rid of the metal shavings. Right? Don't need the metal shavings in my driveway. Already have enough rust spots and such. Wait, ready? 1, 2, 3, wait. Hey, chow! Chow! You know what? Pretty crazy. Alright, clear, fire in the hole. Anyone behind me? No one's behind me. Let her warm up a little bit and then back her out. A little bit of oil. All right, let's go see how she does.
was down here digging yesterday without that bar on, and there's no way I could have dug into the side of the bank like that. So we're gonna call it a success. Thank you, Vevor. Thank you, China. So I'll try to report back at some point, let you know how it's holding up, but this is probably the harshest environment I'm gonna be in. I don't have rock, I don't have shale that I'm gonna be digging in, so just hardened, you know, dirt like this would be about it. So thanks for checking us out. Let me know if you like this content. Give me a comment. I'll catch you next time.